across time, no matter what.
Across time.
So across time, forever death.
Prevails across time.
So no matter what, death does prevail. Happy New Year, everyone. God bless you. And I'm just going to read a few things for you. God bless us. It's great to be here. And of course, like I said, it's changing, and the world changes constantly, consistently. That is the one thing that does happen. It's about people. Just going to let that catch up to us. And I'm sure my audio is working. Thinking it's working. It's working. So thank you so much for joining in. We are spirits. That bodies should be lent to us while they can afford us pleasure, assist us in inquiring and acquiring knowledge, or in doing good to our fellow creatures. It is a kind and benevolent act of God. When they become unfit for these purposes and can afford us pain instead of pleasure, instead of an aid, become an encumbrance and answer none of the intentions for which they were given purpose for. It is equally kind and benevolent that a way is provided by which we may get rid of them. And death is that way, our friend, and we are invited aboard the party of pleasure of death, which is to last forever. Death's chair was ready first, and death has gone before us. We could not all conveniently start together, and why should you and I be grieved at this when we are too soon to follow, and we know where to find death? It begins now to be everywhere surmised that the real force, which is in this world all things must obey, and it is insight, spiritual vision, and determination. The thought is a parent of the deed. Yes, it is the living soul of it, at last and continuous. As well as the first mover of it, it is the foundation and the beginning of the essence. Therefore, it is of man's whole existence here on this earth. And in this sense, it has been said the word of man, the uttered thought of a man, is still a magic formula whereby he rules the world. Do not the winds and the waters and all the tumultuous powers inanimate and animate both obey? A poor, quiet, mechanical magician speaks, and a fire-winged ships cross across the ocean at all the bidding of an imagination of the thoughts. Or, above all that, the raging of the nations are thoughts, wholly in contention and desperation and dark chaotic fury. How thoughts are. How meek the voice of Hebrew martyr and redeemer stills it into order, and a savage earth becomes kind and beautiful in thoughts and habitation of horrid cruelty of a temple of peace in thought. The true sovereign of the world, who molds the world like soft wax according to pleasure, who is lovingly sees into the world, the inspired thinker of thoughts, whom in these days we name poet, songsters, singers. The true sovereign is the wise man. Above all, it is ever to be kept in mind that not by material but by moral power are men and their actions governed. How noiseless is thought, and no rolling of drums and no tramp of squadrons of immeasurable tumult of baggage wagons, and attends its movements in thought, and what obscure and sequestered places may the head be meditating, which is one day to be crowned with more than the imperial authority, for kings and emperors will be among its ministering servants' thoughts. It will rule not over in, but in all heads. And with these, its solitary combinations of ideas, thoughts, as the magic formulas bend the world to their will. The time may become when Napoleon himself may have been better known for his laws than for his battles. The victory of Waterloo proved less momentous than the opening of the first mechanics institutes. In the mind of him who is pure and good will be found neither corruption of thoughts nor defilement or any malignant taint. Unlike the actor who leaves the stage before his part is played, the life of such a man is complete. Whenever death may come, he is neither cowardly nor presuming, nor enslaved to life, nor indifferent to its duties, and in him is found nothing worthy of condemnation, nor that which putteth him to shame. Attest by trial how excellent is the life of the good man, the man who rejoices at the portion given to him in the universal lot of life, and abides therein content, just in all of his ways, and kindly minded in thoughts towards all men. This is moral perfection, to live each day as though it were the last, to be tranquil, sincere, yet not indifferent to one's or another's fate. I think that I have known one good old man, one man who, through the chances and mischances of a long life, has carried his heart in his hand like a palm branch, waving all his discords into peace, helps our faith in God and in ourselves and in each other more than any or many more sermons could ever do. Life is but a thought, but he is no madman that thinks, but the best bundle of nerves I ever saw, cut, bruised, and battered, and chained beside. He showed himself to be a man of courage and fortitude. He is a fanatic, of course, beyond all reason, but he thinks himself a Christian and believes honestly he is called of God to free all the enslaved. When they say one son was dead by his side, he held his rifle in his hand and held the purse and the pulse of another who was dying, all the time cautioning his men to be cool and sell their lives dearly. While I was talking with him, continued Governor Wise, someone called out that he was a robber and a murderer. Brown replied, "You slaveholders are the robbers." I told him, "Captain Brown, your hair is matted with blood and you are speaking hard words. Perhaps you forget I am a slaveholder. You had better be thinking on eternity. Your wounds may be fatal. If they are not, you will have to stand trial for treason, conspiracy, and murder. How can you hope to escape when you admitted your guilt?" The old man leaned on his elbow, and beneath the bandages on his broken face, I saw the blue eyes flash, and he answered me, "Governor Wise, you call me old, but after I have only 10 or 15 years at most, the start of you in that journey to eternity, of which you speak. I will leave this world first, but you must follow. I will meet you across death's border, and I tell you, Governor Wise, prepare for eternity. You admit you are a slaveholder. You are a responsibility weightier than mine. Prepare to meet your God." Governor Henry A. Wise's interview with John Brown. "Search thy own heart that painteth thee in others, in thyself may be seen. I, who am dead 1,000 years and wrote this sweet archaic song, send you words for messengers, that way I shall not pass along. I care not if you bridge the seas or ride secure the cruel sky, or build consummate palaces of metal or masonry. Would you have wine and music still and statues, and a bright-eyed love, and foolish thoughts of good and ill, and prayers to them that sit above? How shall we conquer? Like a wind that falls at eve, our fancies blow, and old Mennonites that behind said it 3,000 years ago. O friend unseen, unborn, unknown, student of our sweet English tongue, read out my words at night alone. I was a poet. I was young. Since I can never see your face and never shake you by the hand, I send my soul through time and space to greet you. You will understand. I have, may it please the court, a few words to say. In the first place, I deny everything. But what I have all along admitted of a design on my part to free the slaves, I intended certainly to have made a clean thing of the matter, as I did last winter when I went to Missouri, and there took slaves without the snapping of a gun on either side, moving them through the country and finally leaving them in Canada. I designed to have done the same thing again on a larger scale. That was all I had intended, and I never did intend murder or treason or the destruction of property or to excite or incite the slaves to rebellion or to make insurrection. I have another objection, and that is that it is unjust that I should suffer such a penalty had I interfered in the manner in which I admit fairly proved, and for I admired the truthfulness and candor of the greater portion of the witnesses who have testified in this case. Had I so interfered in behalf of the rich and the powerful and the intelligent, the so-called great, or in behalf of any of their friends, either their fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, wives, children, or any of that class, and suffered and sacrificed that I have in this interference, that I would have been all right. Every man of this court would have deemed it an act worthy of reward rather than of punishment. And this court acknowledges, too, that I suppose the validity of the law of God. I see a book kissed, which I suppose to be the Bible, or at least the New Testament, which teaches me that all things whatsoever I would that men should do to me, I should do even to them. It teaches me further to remember them that are in the bonds as bound without them, and bond with them. I endeavor to act up that instruction. I say, I am yet too young to understand that God is any respecter of persons. I believe that to have interfered as I have done, as I have always freely admitted I have done, in behalf of this despised poor, I did no wrong, but right. Now, if it is deemed necessary that I should forfeit my life for the furtherance of the ends of justice, and mingle my blood further with the blood of my children and with the blood of millions in this slave country whose rights are disregarded by the wicked, cruel, and unjust enactments, then I say, let it be done. Let me say one word further. I feel entirely satisfied with the treatment I have received on my trial. Considering all the circumstances, it has been more than generous and more than I expected. But I feel no consciousness of guilt. I've stated from the first what was my intention and what was not my intention. I never had any design against the liberty of any person, nor any disposition to commit treason or to incite the slaves to rebel or make any general insurrection. I never encouraged any man to do so, but always discouraged any idea of that kind. And let me say also, in regard to the statements made by some of them, that I have induced them to join me. But the contrary is true. I do not say this to injure them, but as regretting their weakness. Not one of them had joined me of his own accord, and the greater part of their own expense. A number of them I never saw and never heard a word of conversation with them, till the day they came to me, and that was for the purpose I have stated. Now, I have done. If you accept art, it must be part of your daily lives and the daily life of every man. It will be with us wherever we go, in the ancient city full of traditions of the pastime, in the newly cleared farm in America, or the colonies, where no man has dwelt for tradition to gather around him, in the quiet countryside as in the busy town. No place shall be without it. You will have it in your day, and in your sorrow, as in your joy, as in your workaday, as in your leisure. It shall be no respecter of persons, but shall be shared by gentle and simple, learned and unlearned, and be as a language that all can understand. It will not hinder any work that is necessary to the life of man at the best, but it will destroy all degrading toil, all invading luxury, all foppish frivolity. It will be the deadly foe of ignorance, dishonesty, and tyranny. It will foster goodwill, fair dealing, and confidence between man and man. It will teach you to respect the highest intellect with a manly reverence, but not to despise any man who does not pretend to be what he is not. As the scholar only knows how dear these silent yet eloquent companions of pure thoughts and innocent hours become in the season of adversity, when all that is worldly turns to dross around us. These only retain their steady value when friends grow cold and the converse of intimates languishes into vapid civility and commonplace. These only continue the unaltered continence of happier days and cheer with us that true friendship which shall never be deceived of hope nor deserted of sorrow.